Now here in the broadcast booth overlooking the Capitol, we have a real treat. Two rising stars of the Democratic Party, Julian and Joaquin Castro. They may, as you may have noticed, are brothers. And one is the mayor of San Antonio, the other is a United States congressman, and I always have to do this. You're the mayor?
I am the mayor.
All right, you're Julian then,
That's
and
right.
then you're Joaquin. All right.
Yeah.
Identical twins and rising stars in the Democratic Party. The president talked about immigration today. What do you imagine, you're the mayor of San Antonio, Texas, what do you imagine the president can do, given a Republican Congress, on the issue of immigration?
Well, first, it was great to hear him speak to the dreams that immigrants have and the real way in which they replenish the America that all of us know and love and propel it forward. I'd say there are a couple of things that can get done. First, after election night, we saw the Republican Party change its tune on immigration more than any other issue. And that gives me a lot of hope, because I think that there's leeway to come up with a compromise. And a compromise is likely going to include, of course, making sure that the borders are as secure as possible, ensuring that when an employer hires someone, that employer can know for sure that that person is here legally, figuring out a way to fine someone who is here illegally, and also figuring out a pathway to citizenship if the person has not committed a felony. That kind of comprehensive immigration reform, for the first time since 2006, 2007, is truly in sight.
Joaquin, other than immigration, what struck you about the president's speech?
Well, I thought that the speech was inspirational. I thought that it looked ahead, that it touched on the big issues of the day, not in a very specific way, which I think is beyond this kind of speech. But it also, I think, Scott, challenged some of the dogmas that have really dogged the Congress and American government for the last several years. The president, for example, spoke about absolutism and not giving in to that. So that I saw as a bit of a challenge to the Congress and to Republicans, saying, hey, work with me to do what's right for the American people. And in that way, I think that in its way transcended all of the bickering of the day.
Joaquin, you are a new member of Congress from the state of Texas. You're new in town, as they say. How do you think the divide can be bridged between the two parties on difficult issues like immigration?
Well, there's a few things. I think it's got to be built both on personal relationships with the president and with individual Congress members among themselves, but also I think that the institutions and the way they proceed have to change. We know, for example, that over the last few years, the filibuster has been used more than at any other time in American history. There's got to be some change there. Also, I believe that Speaker Boehner, if he wants to get bipartisan votes, as he did on Sandy relief, he's got to be willing to drop the Hastert rule. So it's got to be a combination of personal changes and also institutional changes.
Mr. Mayor, you run one of the largest cities in the country, San Antonio, Texas. What can the president do to help cities? What do you need?
Well, the president can do what he has begun what he began during his first term. Two great examples of what he has done is to collaborate with agencies in his administration, so making the transportation department work with the education department, work with the EPA, sustainable communities, choice neighborhoods, promised neighborhoods, to both invest in brain power and education and also lift up neighborhoods at the same time. And to his credit, he's been more collaborative with mayors, I think, than we've seen in a long time. So I have a lot of hope for this second term.
Mayor Julian Castro of San Antonio, Texas, and his brother Joaquin Castro, a new member of Congress. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
And very kind of you to spend a moment with us up here today.
Great to be here.
Thank you again.
Thank you.